Hey everyone, today we look at probably the most important and hardest to believe thing that Jesus ever taught us. You've heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say you, don't violently resist an evildoer. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn the other cheek too. If anyone wants to sue you and take your coat, give your shirt too. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go the 2nd mile too. Give to everyone who asks of you. Do not refuse anyone who wants to borrow from you. You've heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you can act like children of your Father in heaven. Because he makes his sun rise on the good and the evil, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. If you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Don't even tax collectors do the same? And if you welcome only your own family, what more are you doing than others? Don't even the nations do the same thing? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. So Edmund Burke famously says that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And if I'm being generous with this, I think this is why we don't believe or live by Jesus' nonviolent teaching here, his approach to dealing with evil. Mistakenly, we think that Jesus is just telling us to do nothing. So, instead, we try overcoming evil with evil because, well, at least it's something, even though it continues not to work. Now, in truth, what Jesus is giving us here are clever ways to disarm evil and declare our humanity in the face of oppression. Right? They're a little bit passive-aggressive. They're a little bit snarky. They're a form of protest. Right? Take, for example, what he says about being sued and giving your coat. Right? Imagine that you're taken to court and all you have is the clothes on your back and they're suing you for your coat. And you go ahead and give that to them and you go ahead and start just stripping naked in the courtroom. What's your opponent going to do? They're going to say, oh, no, I didn't mean that. Right? You're taking away their power in a powerless situation. This is what Jesus is teaching us to do here. We're not being doormats. We're flipping the tables on people who think they have all the power. We resist evil and violence by refusing to be violent and refusing to use evil. It's the only thing that works. Either we believe that or we don't believe that Jesus is Lord. Why do we do this? Why do we believe this? Because this is what God does. The perfection that he describes, it's God's perfect love for every single person that God has created. No matter what, no matter who they are, no matter what they have done. Not just those and so we are called to have this same love, not just for those who look like us or believe like us or vote like us. The love of God does not and cannot discriminate between those who deserve it and those who don't. If we're God's children, how can we do otherwise? So, today, what enemy, or at least irritant, can you love? Don't just love with our hearts or in our minds, but how can we love them with our deeds and our words and our actions?